Welcome back. Mr. Phoenix Wright is currently on trial for murder. But we haven't even established how he apparently killed his victim, so we need to establish the murder method, which is somehow through electrocution. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court. Yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that. Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Again, you can just tell this is so the, tutorial case. As for the cause of death, I'd say the picture captures it quite well. What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. Are you just not seeing the sparks at all? I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly is this, in this photo, is the murder weapon? Like, there. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's, what is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then, the high voltage cable? Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, leave some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. I mean, I suppose, maybe, like, you could have pushed him into it, knowing it was there, but that much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. On what? Fingerprints? You mean that the defender's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Shoved him. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. Oh, that makes sense. Yes, guilty. Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Crossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor, at this time I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down this verdict. But I just can't say it. It's gonna be that the girlfriend is the one who did it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further. I did it. Oh, well, alright then. I admitted I pushed him. But it's my fault. My fault that Dog Swallow is dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. Continue to see her. It's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. He was trying to warn him, wasn't he? Stop it. Just don't talk about it. About her like that. Yeah, he was trying to warn him. What you just said, was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. Still can't believe it. You really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Thank you for letting us know. When I pushed the victim. The guy was talking bad about Dolly. He wasn't. He was warning you about something. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just lying there. Dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation, indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. It's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Like what? He did shove him when I pushed the victim. Okay. So we need something in here that proves that the push didn't kill him. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. Okay. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Okay, these are all, yeah. That moment I heard some kind of loud noise. See, that's the bit that's like... What? A loud noise? What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? Not sure, but it was really loud. It was like snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. So it's like the cable snapped like milliseconds after you shoved him. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. No.
Objection!
That'd be more like bazap. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? Like a sharp crack? Could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Fell right on top of it and broke it. Oh yes, but what do you? That's probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? Did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. It's totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye? What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well... Of course it's important! This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. Okay. Now we got the umbrella. Let's see the crime photo, because that's the one that has the umbrella in it. It's all the way over there. This is the thing, it's like... Well, here's the issue with all this. It's very much that case of... If you shoved him, you would have shoved him backwards. He wouldn't be on his front. Like that. And the umbrella would be under him as well. So that's... There's two things that are contradictory to the shove here, I'd say. So let's go with that.
Objection!
Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's argument earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No. It makes sense completely. Again, and he's face down, not face back. Yep. He's not back. He's not on his back. He's on his front. The victim, he moved. Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. If he fell on it, it wouldn't move. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have blown there by the wind. But I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial. But as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. Oh, you changed, don't you? No! His hair's gonna fall out. That's what's gonna happen at the end, isn't it? I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix testimony added to the court record. Well done, Mia. All the dots. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. Seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness? Exactly. And the witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean... Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. She's the murderer. What? Oh, this was quite startling. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. Can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. April 11th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby. Number 3. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. She'll throw you under the bus, mate. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Okay. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on this side anyway. One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met, as a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. Makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright. Small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. Shows it to everyone. Okay. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl. Ask her for a present back like that. Yeah. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne, 8 months ago, wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th? Would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. But how did you... This happened on August 27th right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see, murder in the courthouse... Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases. Am I correct? Newspaper clipping added to the court record. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. So thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Oh, looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving. Guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Seemed much less to me. To be continued, I assume right now. April 11th, 12:13 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 2. Oh, there's number 2. There's a lovely room. Oh. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Alright. Triple dot, triple dot. What's with this stiff silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe you actually said that. You okay? Oh, now then, witness. Could you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie. There's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I always feel right at home. Not at all. It was nothing. We may move on now. What is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. Oh, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Sir? Is there something I can help you with? Just go on and say whatever's on your mind. Sure, there must be some kind of mistake. Pheonix wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it. Yes, I could see why you'd say that. She's going to be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Phoenix's place after class was over. Pheonix, though. Pheonix and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Pheonix noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some of the students, and they called the authorities. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Oh, yes, completely innocent, yes. Young lady. As old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it's my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case. On a bunch of paper-thin lies. You haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? So you two are acquainted? Yes. We've met before. Once. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madame Fey. Madam, I'm no one's grandma yet, girlie. What I witnessed. Okay. I've been planning to go back to Phoenix place after class was over. That's not really going to help us any regard. Phoenix and Doggy, they were talking behind the building. We knew this. And suddenly Doggy got all wobbly and just collapsed. Not mentioning a push there. That's when Phoenix noticed that I was there. Went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. Okay, so let's go back to that one. It's like, how did he get all wobbly? We know he was pushed, so... Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim. Is that right? But we know that's not true. I was watching the whole time. Phoenix never did a thing to Dougie. The fingerprints. I press her for no good reason. I just know the judge will get angry at me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Show contradiction. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne. Let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never. Miss Fay, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting, Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It'd be very much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. But we know there was a snap, so... So then, what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice friendly afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break. That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge. Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. Judge. Mr. Frank Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. Let's go back there. Is there anything I can present? Because it's like... The umbrella snapped. There was a snap sound, right? Because it went... I imagine... Something along those lines. So, there would have been a sound. Right? Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? I don't really see any problem with it. Oh. Actually, I don't either. Well, then what are you making a fuss for? Think before you speak, young lady. Oh. Looks like you missed the mark on that one, Mia. Still feel like I'm right, though. So... It was in his test... There was a loud sound when this happened. Objection! You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me. That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear that noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, The sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. Yeah, there's a snap, yeah. I have a moment to answer. By all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time. Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony. After all. Wait a sec, Mia. Her testimony just now said something that could totally change this whole case. There was lightning. Yeah. If there was lightning, he could have been struck by lightning. That simple. But we will end this part here. In the next part, we will say there was lightning. Ta-ta for now.